What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast Core Class Noah Diaz. Yes, we're taking a look at a human character, and a human character that honestly probably should not have really been introduced into the Studio Series lineup. Like, who in their... I want to know what kind of drugs Hasbro and Takara were on when they designed this. I genuinely want to know. You had so many multiple opportunities to turn this into something that could have been really, really good. And once again, great idea and concept, not very well executed. Like, not very well at all. Like, for starters, I mean, the whole thing is basically just him in the Superman pose, almost in the Superman pose. That's basically the whole thing. And not to mention the whole jet portion literally detaches. So I don't see a functionality use for the jet other than calling it a transformer. Yeah, I don't classify this as a transformer. So but first, let's take a look at the packaging. The packaging is actually pretty freaking cool. I do like the packaging. You got Noah Diaz Exo-Suit. So we finally have the Exo-Suits. This is confirmation that we finally have the Exo-Suits in Transformers live-action movies. Finally, yeah, we got the Exo-Suit. As you can see here, you got Noah Diaz on the top of the packaging, but you don't see his face. Why they couldn't do that, I'm not sure, but yeah. But, you know, designing's too hard. So, on this side, you got blacked out Noah Diaz face. This basically just looks like a Spartan with, like a Halo Spartan from, you know, the Halo franchise with a gun mounted on their hand and, car parts, a few car parts here and there, and that's basically it. And there you have the promo shots for Noah Diaz, and I can tell you it transforms in way less than seven steps. I can tell you that much. So yeah. So let's remove this off to the side once again and get back into the figure at hand here. The figure is, I swear they literally just gave the jet mode to this thing just to call it a transformer, and that's it. Like, underneath, there's so much more detail and so many more cool things going on, but it's stuck with this jet mode, and the only real way that I can show off anything else with this figure is to remove the jet mode, but I won't remove it just yet, because we're going to get to some scale comparisons. That's right, scale comparison time now. It's the scale comparison time, that's right. So, here he is next to Mainline Deluxe Mirage with two guns. I managed to get a second gun. So, here he is with him. Here he is with Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee. Here he is next to Rise of the Beasts Core Class RC, and you'll get a good sense of how that looks there in a moment when we get into robot mode and how, well, robot mode. So, yeah. Here he is next to Voyager Prime, the now discontinued Voyager Prime. And if you haven't gotten this, I will leave a link to Planwt Toys where you can pick up one of these because this is now discontinued. You can no longer buy these at Target. So I will leave a link to it in the description down below. And here he is with Leader Class Scourge from Rise of the Beasts. And honestly, that scaling is a little atrocious, but what the hey. And last but not least, please ignore the Xbox notification. We're just going to do something really quick. And we're back. And as a final comparison, here he is next to Studio Series 86 Spite with Wiki in the Exo-Suit. And as you can see, once again, they did a very, very good job with Spike. However, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with Noah Diaz. However, I was not the one who designed this. I just feel like they could have done more. So, Alright, now that we've done that, we're going to get into the transformation. And to start the transformation, we're going to do it with the, actually, we're not even going to, we're going to transform it, but we're going to do it with the jet pieces on. And then I will show you how to remove this and basically just ixnay the whole jet piece here. So to start this off, you're going to remove this little cannon on top here, and it just pegs in this tiny little peg right there, and this little port right there. And then you're going to take these wings, push them all the way back, like so. I'm going to come to these legs. You're going to basically kind of just bring them down. They tab in on the calves right back here. There's tabs right there, and there's pieces right here. And then you're going to take this back section of the jet and just bring it all the way up, and those tab sections that tabbed into the legs are going to tab into these pieces, or these ports right here on the backpack. So you're going to do that. Then, to make life easy, you're going to bring the head forward and rotate it, just to make life easy. And then you're going to bring this whole section here all the way back, this nose cone section, just push it all the way back, like so, and you're basically almost done. Take the arms, untab them, bend them at the ball jointed elbow, do the same thing on the other side, untab them from the sides, and bend it at the ball jointed elbow, straighten out the feet, and there you have basically Noah Diaz in his robot mode, I guess you could say. And then you just bring in the gun and you just tab it all on in right there, and there you have him looking all armored up, thanks to Mirage. Yeah, and honestly, once again, I love the idea of having an exo-suited I love the idea of having the humans in exosuits. I definitely dig that idea. However, the one thing I don't dig is when you try to make up horrible excuses for making them transformers. So I just call them the exosuits, and you can totally understand that. Every Transformers nerd will understand that in its entirety. So now to remove this horrifying backpack, it literally just tabs in via these two tab sections. They just tab right into his back, and you can take this and just remove it off to the side if you would like to. That's what I will do when I display this guy with the rest of the Rise of the Beast cast. And so then you just do that, and there's Noah Diaz in his robot, or in his lighter mode, or his exosuit mode without all the junk. So, you know, just saying, that's how this thing goes. So now to do some scale actually, let's not even do scale comparison yet. Let's look at the detail, and to do that we're gonna need to remove this. But you know what, firstly, let's start with this. Look at they painted the inside of the barrel for this. They really outdid themselves. Like, I'm very impressed with this figure. Like, it's a lot of punch in a little bit of a small package. So removing this off to the side once again, let's take a look at this body here. This body was definitely made for the specificality of looking like screen accuracy. And not to mention, this thing has multiple different posable joints. This thing is a different action figure when you remove this. When you remove this thing is a completely separate figure all on its own. And I definitely dig the fact that Hasbro and Takara Tomy did this with the Noah Diaz look. I'm glad they did it, but at the same time, I also want to know why on earth you thought this was necessary. Just saying. So, but anyways, just getting a good look at all of that detail. I mean, the head sculpt is just gorgeous. I mean, the one thing I really wish they could have done, though, is I wish they could have made this knife detachable. This is molded. This whole arm section is molded plastic with the knife, but the rest of it's just not bad. You get an ab crunch or a back crunch if you really want to get into it. A 360 waist swivel because it's all on a ball joint. Very nice range of mobility, like I said earlier. They literally thought of almost everything with this figure. Almost everything. The only thing that I really think could make this better is if they have this in a 2-pack with Mirage, or a battle damaged Mirage. Not mainline, but Studio Series, because this is obviously Studio Series. I mean, you're gonna want to do that. So we're going to bring in the gun back here, and just for scale comparison, we're going to reattach this, and we're going to bring in our scale comparisons. And literally and like I said, it just tabs right on it. Excuse me. It just tabs right on into the backpack or to the back piece, and it basically just now looks like that. So now that we've gotten all of the accessories, looked at all the details, looked at everything we've needed to look at in detail, let's get into the scale comparison. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Core Class RC, and like I said, this does not scale accurately whatsoever. I mean, look at this. I mean, obviously Noah Diaz is not 9 feet tall, like RC is. So this scale does not work. Here he is next to Mainline Mirage. And those two just look so beautiful together. I mean, I can only wait until the Studio Series Mirage comes and I can finally display him with him. That's going to be the day. So, bring this back. Here he is next to Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. And now we can complete that one scene of him hanging off the back of Bumblebee like he was in the movie. Oh, wait, did I spoil that? No, I did not, because that was in the trailers. Here he is next to Studio Series Leader of the Free Galaxy. Voyager, Leader of the Free Galaxy. So, take him out of the way. Here he is next to Leader Class Studio Series Scourge. Obviously, these two have a little bit of a tiff in the movie. So, yeah. Then, last but not least, here he is next to the other exo-suited human that we have. So, here he is next to Spike Witwicky, and like I said, I definitely dig the idea of having them bring in more human characters. I definitely dig it. The only time I do not dig the fact that they bring in human characters to sell as accessories or separate pieces is when it becomes something like the Nest Bumblebee or the Repairing Bumblebee set from Studio Series that had Charlie, and you had multiple different parts for Bumblebee that you could attach to make him look like an 80s hot rod. So something like that. But when it comes down to stuff like this, like simple stuff like this, I can get on board with that. I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this massive piece of junk here, because this is just kibble that you can take off, and they knew that. So the fact that this thing is a shell former is not something I'm happy about, but at the same time, if you just wanted to give us a Mirage figure that was going to look, or not Mirage, a Noah Diaz to go with Mirage, I feel like you should remove this backpack piece, and you should literally just have this piece with the gun. You don't need this. You really did not need this. However, once again, I can't complain over the fact that we did get Noah Diaz. I can't complain. So, basically, if I were to rank this figure, I would rank it somewhere in the ballpark of around a 7 to 8 out of 10. And like I say, 7 to 8, like that's pretty high up there for a core class. But where this figure exceeds that and turns it from a 7 to 8 to an 8 to a 9 is the design factor. I love the way that this is designed. They got so many articulation points in there. They got so many things in there that you can't, I can't believe it. I mean, it's like I don't like saying this, but it's like almost a mini masterpiece. I say almost because a regular masterpiece would not have this. They would have this quality of work to it, but it would not have this. It would not have the backpack and quality. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan of One saying, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Don't forget to check out Planwt Toys, a world built by collectors, where I will be leaving a link in the description where you can get yourself one of these guys, which is no longer available at Target or any of the other retailers that you normally would find this guy at. And I will leave a link to it so that you guys can do that. And for all of your other Transformers needs as well. And this is Thomas Fan of One saying, don't forget to subscribe to OptiNation Reviews, Beastman Reviews, Patrick with a Y, Jordy's Rail Videos, Riveted Reviews. iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions, as I know they all do some pretty amazing stuff. And this is Thomas Fan 1 saying, don't forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.